The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that come in after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I'm your host, Valentino, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City that premieres every 6:30 to 8 p.m., except holidays, on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. You can text us, powered by BTC, at 422-GR96, and telephone us if you want to, 326232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and you can text us, Guardian Crest, and also listen Cable Bahamas, and I think we're live also. We have been on Guardian Radio for so many years, and all we do on Guardian Radio is find persons who are committed to the country's development. Anything that leads to bringing down poverty, increasing education, providing opportunity and scholarships and training. And that's what this show is all about on Guardian Radio. And tonight we have some outstanding guests in studios who are represent BTVI. We have Miss Major in studio. She's the coordinator of the Smart Initiative Training Program. And she also brought two of our students in studios, and we're going to let them introduce themselves. And I hope this is their first time in studios, but I think they're going to do a wonderful job of explaining what the program is all about and why young persons out there should get themselves involved. And then if you want further information, you can call on the phone line to get the information, because there are many of you out there who needs training. You might not know where to start. You know, a lot of people are confused. They want the proper education, they want the training, but they just don't know where to turn. So listen in tonight, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation. We're going to have them in for the first half of the show, and then we're going to talk about some country's problem, like our increase in cancer, etc., after we do this positive show that is going to reach a lot of people. So go ahead, Mom, Miss Major. Tell us your position again at BTVI. And you can talk in the mic.
Good evening. My name is Valerie Major, and I am the program coordinator for the Smart Start Certificate Program.
Wow. And this program, what is the objective? What is it looking to achieve with this program?
The Workforce Readiness Smart Start Program was created to assist those students during the height of the pandemic, 2020 to 2022, those students who would have dropped out of school for whatever the reasoning was. The Workforce Readiness Program goal is to assist those students in taking a trade path.
A trade path. So we're talking about the 2 years of the COVID-19. There are many persons who drop off online training. Why is the COVID-19 pandemic as reported by the Ministry of Education? And we saw the results of that. And many people were not online, so the organization is trying to make up for that lost time. And the organization, BTVI, has come up, well, let's go there and start this program and to make sure that those who were left behind now can catch up to the curricular system.
Yes, BTVI has developed a series of workforce readiness certificate program to serve as bridge for those students. It was about approximately 7,000 students across the Bahamas that just stopped coming or were disengaged and just stopped coming to school during that time.
Wow, that's crazy. So we have two of your students in studios. You were training them now?
Actually, both of my students would have benefited from the workforce readiness program.
Go ahead now.
Well, both of them would have benefit and is continue to benefit from our Smart Start certificate program. The beautiful thing about the Smart Start certificate program is the certificates are available in 4 offerings. We have workforce readiness certificate, automotive mechanics, and that trade deals with diesel system, engine systems, steering and suspension systems, braking systems, electrical and electronic systems. And then we have another certificate program will be workforce readiness beauty trade. The beauty trade deals with barbering, natural hair, and nail technology. And then, of course, we have the construction trade. And the construction trade focus on carpentry, drywall, HVAC, which is air conditioning, masonry, painting, plumbing, electrical, and tiling. And finally, the 4th certificate is the fashion trades, in which deals with basic garment making. My students, our students, would have benefit because both of them were in our program. Tyrone would have been a part of the program. He's 17 years old, and he got the opportunity to be a part of our program. And of course, Ciara is also a part of our program, and she has completed a certificate program as well as Tyrone. However, Ciara decided that she wanted to come back and go into another of the program, and I'll let you speak with them.
Her name is Ciara?
Yes.
Ramin?
Yes.
So let me hear from you. You know, most people want to be trained and want to be educated, but how do they feel when they get instructed from an instructor? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you want something right, but when you have it, you know, it's personality and same that Ms. Major personality is very good. So you were able to resonate with her, and you was that influence to actually get your certificate. Now you're interested in the different subjects. Let's share a little about it.
Okay, well, yes. Miss Major, she gave me such the attitude, the personality from when I first started the program. It was really well. She encouraged me from the beginning, from the start, into my program, which really helped me a lot. I started off with the nail technology program, and I'm now certified in nail technology. And now I've started the natural hairstylist program.
So now you're certified again. Let me get it again.
A certified nail technician.
Nail technician right now. So that means any beauty salon or any pleasure cruise ship in the country right now needs someone with the qualification. You have it.
Yes, sir.
So you're qualified now.
Yes, sir.
That means if they was to ask you if you qualified, if you have the experience, the training, you have that.
Yes, sir.
So for ladies out there, listen closely. This is the step that you need to take. First, you need to take instructions, and you need the right instructors. And if you listen to the lady speaking now, Ms. Rami, she's talking about how Ms. Major was able to guide her through. And see, it's the connection. That's a person who cares about younger persons and wants them to have a better future. So I gives you a thumbs up. Now tell us why you're interested in the second program.
Because I feel as though my first experience was so well, it encouraged me to came back.
Okay, so
Yes.
just by jumping in the water where the shark is, you were able to get a career. Now your mind's expanded because you see other programs there. Now you're going into the next field. So why have you decided to go in the next field, even though you're interested? But why have you decided to go in the next field? A backup you just want to be skilled?
I feel, so it's very good to be resourceful. I feel as though you can never have too many trades, never have too many things underneath your belt. You know, the jack of all trades. I hope to be one.
And I like how you went into two fields that are similar. You know, you're going from the nail and then you go in.
Yes,
you understand? So it ties in. So that means when business slow with this, with the nails, you could go. You understand? It makes sense. It makes sense. It's building a future plan. So what she has already done is she has set up a future.
Exactly.
Already, and she's just going to keep on enhancing on it and getting good at it and getting good at it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why
talking to Mike, please.
The beauty of our program, the Smart Start program, we're targeting those young persons who would have dropped out of school.
Wow.
That is one of the things that we are really targeting. We want those persons. We're calling for them. The beautiful thing is this program has a 30-hour community service attached to it. So when we train you, and we give you all the skills, we then align you with a practitioner in the field who can assist you craft your skill even further.
Wow.
So that is the beautiful thing. Another beautiful thing about this program, it is absolutely free.
It's free?
Yes, it is free for the student. However, somebody else is paying for it.
Oh.
Right, which is the Bahamas government, and through BTVI, we are trying to, it's a scholarship from the Bahamas government into BTVI.
Wow.
So the beautiful thing is the student has the opportunity to grow and to learn these entry-level programs. And the nice thing about it is, like you say, if you're not successful or it's slow in one area, you can go into the next area. This allows the student the opportunity to either go into their own business. They build these skills. They learn the trade. They'll be able to go into their own business, or they can work for someone. And that is the beautiful thing. It's all free with 30 hours of community service, connecting you with industry professional, teaching you the job. And when you go there and you work well and you do the things that you were taught in the Smart Start program, when that employer sees you and if you're working well, because of course we have employability skills attached to these programs. That's one of the content that we teach.
Wow.
As well as the program has international certification
Yeah, I'm reading.
attached to this program.
Yeah, it says all Bahamians and international high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands. Wow.
So it simply says, who is qualified for this program?
All Bahamians
Right.
and international high schoolers.
Who's qualified for this program? It's those persons who would have dropped out of school
Yes, ma'am.
during 2020, 2022. However, we don't discriminate.
I understand.
Right?
Wow.
We won't discriminate. Now, the qualifications are, you have to be a Bahamian citizen. You would have, with a current Bahamian passport, e-passport, and you have to have an NIB smart card.
Yes.
And that's what you have to
That's
do
reasonable.
for entry.
That's reasonable because it's free. And
And
you
it's
want to make
free.
sure that the taxpayers' money is going where it's supposed to go.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
But we still don't discriminate.
No, it's not discriminating.
For non-Bahamians, you are welcome in our program. However, it is attached to a fee.
It should be.
Yes.
It should be. It should be.
Yes.
It should be. So let me.
So we're excited.
Yes, it's very good. I just
Yes.
want to read something real quick. What's in it for students? Participate in 12 weeks of weeks, free hands-on learning to improve employability, no tuition and no fees.
No.
They learn basic literacy and numeracy skills.
Yes. So the basic literacy and numeracy is attached to the trade. For example, when a student come into our program, that student will have to take a placement assessment.
Placement assessment.
For math and English.
To see where they are.
Right, providing they don't have the BJC or BGC qualification C and above in English and language. So they'll take a placement. That one, if the student has to do the math or English, which is the numeracy literacy, that will speak to the trade.
Oh.
So, for example, a student who is in construction and they need to, let's say, measure this room, they need to know square footage.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So if they're doing carpentry, the instructor will say, okay, I need you to cut a crown molding 45-degree angle, right? So 90-degree angle, 90 and 90, 45 is 90 in order to butt it to come together.
Yes,
so the student will have to understand the literacy and numeracy for the trade in order for them to survive.
Wow. You're not just giving them a trade, you're preparing them to make sure they have the proper education.
Absolutely.
Wow, I like this, I love this.
And the literacy, we help the student, they are able to do resumes or able to write up a application letter. That's the soft skills, right? Employability skills. But for example, the literacy will look, when we're looking at the trade, the literacy will look at the student who have to write a receipt. So you have to be able to write a receipt or write a little proposal or write an estimate. So the literacy will talk and speak to that.
Wow.
And that is the beauty. So it's not the regular math and English, but it speaks to the trade in order for you to be successful within your trade.
You all have come from all angles.
Yes.
Make sure that when these students, he or she enters BTVI and they enter for a program, you make sure they are able to work in different capacity.
Absolutely.
So they become professionals.
Yes.
Okay, I see this young
man. And
man.
if they want to if they go into their own business, they can speak the language. If they're working for someone, they're able to speak the language.
Wow. And then as you continue to work, you eventually will own your own business eventually.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think you want to work for 20 years knowing that you're a plumber or electrician and continue to be a worker. Eventually, I'm going to save some money in a 10-year period and start buying my stuff to build my little small appliance shop.
Exactly. And then the thing about it is if you go into the construction field, they even learn blueprint reading.
Wow.
Right? You did blueprint reading? Yes. I'll let you hear from Teron. Yes.
With Teron. Treyon. And your last name?
Smith.
Treyon Smith.
Yes,
first of all, Treyon Smith, it's a pleasure to have you on Guardian Radio.
It's a pleasure.
And I hope that your parents are listening. So tell us a little bit about your parents' voice, Mr. Smith. Because they're real proud of you on radio tonight. They're real proud of you.
Yeah, my mom, she's listening.
Okay,
now.
Let's get some of that.
And my mom, she's a wonderful person, and I get most of my personality from her because she's very independent and she strives for excellence continuously every day, even though she's not the richest person or whatever. But my mom, she's currently in school. She's taking up nursing. She went back to school. So that's
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You're never too old to go back to school and get an education, become smarter and wiser. So she's taking up nursing right now.
How old is?
17.
Yeah, this guy can't like 30-something. 17. I have discussion with all kind of, sorry for cutting you off, but all kind of younger person, but the way his mindset is, he is ready mature at 17. He has a man body on his head at the age of 17.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead. Yes, mom should be real proud of him. Yes. I think he's going to do great for the country, and he's going to make her real proud. Go on.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, just like I was saying, she's a wonderful woman, and my father, he's just the same way. He works hard, and he doesn't go to school, but he reads, he does his own research, he does his independent study, and that's what's important. And he becomes wiser just from that, and working with a bunch of people and associating with intelligent individuals.
What are you associating with?
Intelligent individuals.
He associated with anyone who's selling drugs or anyone of those? What are you associating with?
Intelligent individuals.
All right, so you do the same and surround yourself with intelligent individuals. The minute you hear someone come talking about somebody, whether it's a girl or a boy, you leave from there. You leave from that environment. You don't hear nothing negative. You just leave and you go and do what your daddies do. People who go in somewhere and wants to go somewhere. You head in the right track. I'm really amazed.
Yes. He'll tell you his experience with Smart Start and
go ahead.
The opportunity that was afforded.
Go ahead. Talking to Mike.
Treyon will tell you about his experience with Smart Start, Workforce Readiness Smart Start program, and the opportunity that it was afforded to him because he was in this program.
Okay,
so I'll pass it back to Treyon.
How did you get hooked up with the program
Well, it happened almost. It happened perfect. It happened perfectly. As soon as I finished the course, I met a friend, and she said that she knew an electrician. And I spoke to him, and I told him, "Hey, I just finished. I completed an electrical installation course." And he called. He said, "Okay, I'll contact you." He called me back, and I got on the job.
Let me hear this, dog. You just finished this electrical program.
Yeah.
Now you get your certificate.
Yes,
How long did this take?
this took less than a week.
Less than a week.
Less than a
Listen,
week.
see? Listen, I want to encourage people out there. It might seem like all those closed, but if you go there and you try to help yourself, there's something, an energy out there, long as you positive, will help you. See that? He just finished his course, and now, go ahead, finish the story. This is awesome.
Yes, sir. And I've probably been working for about 3 weeks now, and I've progressed so much that today, like for example, he trusted me so much to do the measurements, and I was doing little calculations, and we put the lights up. I put most of the lights up single-handedly. I measured, I made sure everything was leveled. I drilled my whole everything.
All this happened. Did you know any of this before you went to BTVI and the smart program? Did you know any of this stuff?
No, sir. I didn't know nothing. Actually, after I came, like you said previously, after I came out of school, I was a bit confused.
You didn't know what direction you want to go. And let me show you why our government and our church leaders and leaders of the country need to understand this. Our youngsters now are looking for something, but they don't know where to turn. It is up to us to provide the opportunity by exposing them to programs. Yeah, go ahead, young man.
Yes, sir. Like I was saying, I was a bit confused, but I always knew I wanted to do something dealing with electricity and technology. And I saw the flyer, and it just was like, come to me.
You
come
see?
to me. And
just saw a flyer.
yeah,
You see?
I called them, I contacted them, I started applying, and I got in. I was a bit skeptical at first though, because I was saying it was too good to be true.
All right.
Honestly, they said they were offering like 5 different certificates. Like they offered computer networking, blueprint reading, like I said,
Wow, that's
OSHA
awesome.
certification, all these different certifications, and I was baffled. I'm like, what? This can't be true. But I still signed up. I still went through with it, and when I came out the course, I got all my certifications, and I came out with all kind of knowledge.
And you're going to continue to climb. You know, it's going to take you. You don't know where you're going to end up. Yes. You don't know where you're going to end up. But the thing is, you get certified so that already give you confidence.
Yes, sir.
Because now, like you said, you know, you just came from doing and graduating and get your certificate, yes, and within a week time now, if you know much people looking for work right now and can't find work, but where you push yourself and where you look at that flyer, where you follow the application, and with the guidance of your parents, but yourself, you know, they in you, but you keep on it. Now you see you're certified.
Yes, sir.
And the sky's the limit for you, you know, and you're young. So you know what it means now? You're going to be a business owner in about 5-year period, you know? I have to get back to Ms. Rahman. Ms. Rahman, because, you know, I forgot to ask you a little bit about your parents. You know, I always like to ask younger persons about their parents and what role they play. And I forgot to ask you, but he has a great role model. I guess you have the same thing.
I would say I have the same thing. Not only just my parents, but my grandparents as well.
Your grandparents?
Even my great-grandparents.
Oh, wow,
yes.
that's awesome. Boy, them grandparents and you got great-grandparents?
Yes.
Man, your family blessed. I want to say to them, a great-grandparents, that's a blessing. Hey, listen, for anyone who living out there, when you have great-grandchildren, you have served your purpose and the Lord has blessed you, you know, so they are blessed. So I just want to say bless to them, and I will continue to have a long life. Go ahead.
But yes, I would say, especially my great-grandmother, she actually, I would say now that I've realized that she was the one that I became into nail technology.
Huh?
I was like, she was the reason why I came into nail technology, my great-grandmother.
Yeah?
Yeah. She would come to me and say, Sierra, she'd buy a red polish and be like, Sierra, you could paint my toes for me or paint her fingers for her. And I would do it all the time. that would be my quality time without me and her talk then. And I'll paint her toes and her fingernails, and from there, I think I skyrocketed.
You see just being grateful. And that fascinated her. And now, man, this is just, listen, the sky's the limit, right? The opportunities are there. How she's respectful to her great-grandmother. And just by her taking the time out, because her great-grandmother take a lot of time with her, clean her diaper so many times. Right? And get her to be the young lady she are because she love her great-grandmother just by showing gratitude. You know, many of us who are young and old don't want to help our Grammy or don't help our grandfathers. But you always have to be respectful. And in return, that blessing they give you would make you a prosperous person and take some of this bad curse off us. But you were headed in the right direction, so go ahead.
Yes, and I would say my biggest influences now, I've taught my top 3. I can't say one because I know 3 are listening.
Let's say.
My mom, she's an educator.
Educator?
So she inspires me a lot because she deals with everything. She's the foundation of our land.
Wow.
She bring our children up. She's a 5th grade teacher at a primary school.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then my uncle, he works in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. So I do get a lot of exposure being there with him. I learn a lot from being in there.
Yeah, an exposure.
And my grandmother, she is a banker and also a seamstress as well. So I learned a lot from her when she had her own fabric shop. And I just with those 3 combined, I just learned so many knowledge from so much different areas.
You're multi-talented. Wow. You see, what trade is for why? Our respect for your elders. You understand? It tunes in with the universe and great things. And you see, all is not lost, You hear all this good news in here in the studios here today. We hear all the bad stuff on the news and what young people are doing. We need to talk about what the young people are doing now, and we need to encourage more. That's why I love the idea of them taking BTVI. Mr. Wilson Russell was on the show last week, and he was mentioning that they want to take the programs out in the inner city communities and so they can reach the kids in that particular Bain Town or that Camp Road area or that Fox Hill area where they can't have that, they don't have the accessibility to have the program.
Right.
Well, they want to bring it to them in a trailer, like, when he's doing his basketball program or summer program, and like the young man say, he wanted to, was kind of skeptical, but when he saw the flyer, just the flyer, he got interested. And Ms. Raman, she talked about a great-grandmother and a grandmother and a mom and how that played an important role. And just by her doing the nails and her watching her great-grandmother do the seamstress. And that alone encouraged her to be a person of work ethic, That was ever in her. Now that she was able to sign up for this smart start.
Workforce readiness, smart start.
Workforce readiness program.
Yes.
It has been able to transform their minds, and they are going to do great things.
And that's why we want to encourage the young people out there.
Yes, ma'am.
The program, it's free of charge to them.
Go ahead, ma'am.
If they can come full time, which is 16 weeks. It includes the 30-hour apprenticeship or 30-hour community service, and then if they want, they can come part time, which is 28 weeks, and the 28 weeks really include the community service.
Okay.
It's open to all our young people or persons who are interested. You drop out of school, we are here. We want you to be a part of the Smart Start hashtag.
Don't count us out.
Don't count us out. We're not counting you out, so we're asking you, we are appealing to you. We are in the community. We are talking to religious leaders. We are working with urban renewal. We are on the ground. We're in the media because it's a very good program. We have international certification attached to these programs. We also have, in our program, we have employability skills. So we teach you how to build your resume. We teach you how to carry yourself. So when you get that job, you know what to do. In our program, we teach you these trade. Our goal is to teach you, to train you. So we are appealing to all those young people. come with us. Come journey with us. Let us assist you with your trade. Let us assist you with your career. This is a great opportunity. It is a great opportunity. Smart Start, don't
Count us out.
count us out. I mean, we ain't counting you out. We want you. Hashtag, we want you.
Wow.
Smart Start, don't count us
I
out.
want to compliment the government on this initiative, BTVI, yourself and the students and all of the instructors and teachers. I just want to say to each and every one of you, I don't know you personally, but I just wanted to say that what we don't understand, each and every one of you, we're looking at Brave Davis as the Prime Minister. Each and every one of you in this country who hold leadership position,
Yes.
who has people under your wing, who you're training, you are the Prime Minister. Okay, let me just tell you that. Okay, each and every one of you. When I look at the United States of America, and Donald Trump was the president, but I look at each one of those governors, and each one of those governors are presidents because they can make things happen for their constituency. They go their way. The same task as the president, the United States, and other people in other position, the church leaders, and all of you are the same. So I just want to encourage you to keep up the good work, and we are headed in the right direction. Like I said, it's so nice to hear the good news and hear about the great parenting of both of these both of them in the studios tonight. They come from a good start.
Yes.
And that's very good to show you that there are still people out there who are family oriented and are looking for the best for their children and their grandchildren. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is, we don't only have this program in Nassau, in New Providence. It's throughout our family islands.
Throughout the family islands?
Yes, it's throughout the family islands. We have the Workforce Readiness Smart Start program. We started in Grand Bahama. We're in Exuma, Eleuthera, Long Island, Andros. We're in Abaco. So we're moving through the family islands, and we're working with coordinators in these family islands. So we have family island coordinators to organize our program as well, and they're speaking and they're in collaboration with the district persons there as well as the principals. Because like I say, if a student comes or a young person come and they want to be a part of this program, the coordinators are there to assist them. For certificate programs, once again.
For certificate.
Yes, we have the fashion trade, which is garment making. We have the construction trade, and under the construction trade, students can take the path of carpentry, tiling, masonry, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. Listen, then we have the beauty trade. We got barbering, nail technology.
That's where the females, both females and males could be effective in it, but
we don't discriminate.
no, both females and males, because listen, males can be good in the field too now.
Oh, yes.
yes,
Absolutely.
cosmetology,
Yes. So we have barbering, we have natural hair, and we have nail technology. And then an automotive, hot one. Listen, in the automotive trade, we have engine system, diesel system, braking system, electrical, and the electrical system, and the... It's electrical, and there's another one that we have, engine systems.
Wow.
Right?
Let me just comment on this. Around Nassau, right, I look at all these cars, and there are a little simple problem with these cars.
Yes.
Could you imagine with this program, this mechanic program right now, if youngsters were to say, let's take a look at this and decide, to open their business in the near future to just recycle cars and rebuild cars in this country, you would clean up. Listen, some of these cars in this country just have one small little wiring problem.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And a lot of them just go and get mashed up and go to the dump, but a lot of these cars can be recycled. You know why I said it, Mom? When I went to the States a few years ago, we went to the junkyard, we was passing through, and these guys, them were working and cutting the cars. And I looked at one of the cars that one of the guys put together in the junkyard. And this car was a brand new Lamborghini with this guy had parked up. Would he take the parts off the other cars, and he just learned I was asking questions, and he just took parts of this and that, and you won't believe this? That was a brand new car. And he's actually resell them.
Yes.
Recycle them and resell them. So this is a great concept on what you can do if you put your mind to it. You understand? So go ahead, Mom.
And then the beautiful thing about it is the instructors. I mean, the instructors are knowledgeable. The instructors are persons who will take their time and assist these young people.
Well, you can see it here with you. You can see it here in the studios.
Oh, well, you know, we love these young people, and that is what our passion is about. We will take them from beginning to the end. All right. So if you come in and you're not sure what you want to do, we will guide you through. All right. We're not leaving anyone behind. So at the end of the day, and then when we're done with you, you're going to go there. You're going to have your international certification. You're going to have your OSHA, right? You're going to have your OSHA, and you got OSHA for beauty, and you have OSHA for construction. Listen, those things are in our program. You have City and Guild certification. You have NCCER. All of these beautiful things we are giving to our students for free.
Free.
Yes.
So, you know, Wilton Russell said this last week. He said that the government has incentive, and it's out there. You know, you just got to try. So BTVI is asking you to come.
Smart Start.
Listen, the parents out there, you're listening, they're asking you to come and bring your child. If he's at risk, okay, you missed school, isn't academically inclined, this is the place to be.
And
okay?
even if he is.
And even if he is, this is the place
academically inclined.
This is the place to be because they give you training. And like we said, there's a skill there for him or she. And this could probably change around their life.
Yes. And you know how you reach us? www.btvi.edu.bs. You go online, you fill out your application. It's called Workforce Readiness Smart Start. If you can't or you are unable to access the online portal,
yes, ma'am,
you could come to the campus and we will assist you in filling out your application.
Wow. That's going.
We will assist you in filling out your application.
That's going the full 9 yards, so there's no reason to feel ashamed.
Yes.
Okay? Because when you leave from there, you're not going to be ashamed. You're going to be qualified.
Yes.
Okay?
And I'll tell you another thing that we do. We sometimes have students who may not be able to read really well.
Yes, ma'am.
We assist them because we test them and we can test them orally.
Evaluate them.
So everything that we have students who can sit with them. We have the resources to assist that student.
You all have the experience. We all have been doing this so long. You all have all the components and understanding. If a person was to come in there, lacking these things, you all have the organization and the staff to deal with it.
Yes, if they're deficient,
trained professional.
If they're deficient in anything, we can assist them. Hashtag
Don't count us out.
don't count us out. So the reality is that, you know, the doors are wide open.
Yes, ma'am.
And like I said, it's www.btvi.edu.bs, or you can reach us at 502-6300. Workforce Readiness Smart Start Certification Program.
Awesome news, awesome news. I want to get back to the young lady. So tell us, how is your life progressing now, knowing that you're certified? And what is your next step? And last but least, I would like you to say a word of encouragement to many young ladies out there. You know, go ahead.
Okay, I would say how I feel right now. From the beginning, from being a recent graduate of Ansel Rogers.
Oh, that's where you're from?
Yes.
Okay. Say something to your teachers, all the teachers.
Shout out to all my teachers. They did well. I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out for me. But being a graduate, a recent graduate at that, coming to the program, it was exciting. And the times being flexible as well was great for me. I feel like it would be great for any young person who feel as though they wouldn't want to drop their job to come and learn again. You have the chance to choose a time, what times you need, and on which days as well. So it was really good, and I feel like it helped my self-esteem as well, knowing that I have more value. It added value.
Yeah, you get value. You're certified now. You're certified. You're not unqualified no more.
Now
you get purpose.
Now being a part-time nail technician, it's been really good, especially now to boast about that.
So you
I
get
have
calls
my-
now?
Yes.
You
I
get money
do.
now. Everyone call you 40, 50.
Yes,
You get
being-
clientele now.
Yes.
Tell them, that's what I'm talking about. You get clientele now. She getting called. Yes, yes.
Yes, being around, because I'm now as well a UB student, so being
What?
around campus, I
You,
do.
you mean the sky's the limit. You mean you're not gonna stop. That's
Yeah.
good.
So being around campus, letting people know I have my own business.
That's
Just
smart. You're advertising and all.
letting people-
Oh, you all did well. She's going to call University of the Bahamas. Now she's advertising.
Absolutely.
So in her spare time, she is making money to just to keep herself happy. Means that she could get a phone, she could pay a little bills, take the pressure off of her mom, take the pressure off the household, and could be able to take care of herself and probably could do something for a little brother or sister if she have one or brother or sister. That's awesome.
And that's the beauty of a trade path.
Wow.
The
that's
beauty of a
awesome.
trade path is at the end of the day, you always have something to do.
It's
And
awesome.
that is what we're trying to train our young people. That's what we want to do, to train our young people
Yes.
that at the end of the day, you have a trade. And when you have that trade, that's with you forever. And and the beautiful thing too with our program, if you want to go further in the program, BTVI has other programs that you can go from level 1 right up.
Wow.
So you can keep on progressing.
Wow, keep on progressing. Wow, they're just awesome. Let me get a young man before I let you guys go. Tell me, you are remarkable, and I want to say this to you, and I want to encourage other young guys out there, who are listening. Many of you on the streets, you want to be standing on the side of the streets and, whatever the situation, being unoccupied. Well, this young man here is showing you that he's going to have a way better future than you. Because he understands the value of making man choices and man decisions. You see a lot of guys on the streets, a lot of ladies on the streets, and you wonder why some of the guys walking around the streets and they're crazy and they lost their mind. It's because they waste their time. As human beings, take advantage of the opportunity at an early age, because if you don't, sometimes you lose your purpose. You don't have no vision on what you're going to do in life. And many of the guys out there I talked to, who I knew, they never took the time out to say, hey, let me go to school, let me listen to somebody, and let me don't give up. Let me keep on trying to get my education, keep on trying to get my certification. Now that I'm certified now, I could always find work as long as I discipline. I know how to talk to people. See, it comes down to also being disciplined. And you said that you were a university student, but at the same time, you're using your experience to advertise to them that you do nails.
She's now a university.
Now at the university. So I just want to say this. Encourage yourself to don't allow yourself to not have a purpose in life. Mm-hmm. Because when you can, as you get older and you ain't working and the bills piling up on you, what you gonna do then? So take advantage of the opportunity when you're young, like how this young lady and this young gentleman is in the studio. And I'm saying that to encourage them that instead of hanging up on the blocks and saying nothing happened, just like how this young man saw that flyer and took that leap of faith. How long did the course last?
Probably about 6 months.
6 months.
Yes,
and
sir.
how long did it take you to get work?
Less than a week.
Less than a week. Now tell me if that ain't worth it. Tell me if that is not worth it. And you are employed now?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me, hanging on the streets or picking up a flyer and listen to Ms. Major and go into BTVI is a better choice. It is a better choice. And now you have a future. And what would you like to say to any other young persons older like yourself?
Well, I want to tell them that there's no need to fit in.
No need to fit in. What you mean no need to fit in?
No need to fit in. You don't have to. If you have a mindset that is different from your peers, you don't want to be on the blocks. You don't want to be smoking, drinking, doing all these negative things.
Which ain't getting you nowhere.
Yeah.
You're just getting old and going to the nightclub, but you're not building your house. You're not setting yourself in March. You're not setting yourself saving. You're not setting up for when something happened to you. You're just out there wasting time. Go ahead.
Be different.
Be different.
Be different. There's no need to fit in. Me, I honestly, I did good in school. When I came out.
I came from your parents.
Yes. When I graduated with honors and everything. But I just was smart. I just was smart. I couldn't do nothing with my hands, honestly. And I wanted to do something with my hands.
You were smart, but you wanted to do something. You wanted to get dirty.
Exactly.
You wanted to get dirty, yeah.
Exactly.
It's more of just being smart.
Yeah, sir. So this was an awesome opportunity. The next step from me, I honestly just want to chase knowledge. I just want to be knowledgeable. I just want to be educated. I just want to be wise. Money is important. Being wealthy is important, but I don't find...
Yo, boy, listen, you actually say this now, as long as you ain't get that money thing in your head, it could come to you, but money is not the priority.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, you headed the right track, because don't follow the money. The money will come to you. Never make that your number one ambition. You want knowledge and wisdom and understanding so you could be able to manage that money in the right manner. It could be used for good or it could be used for bad. You're using it for good.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I don't know what to say, you guys. I think this program is a wonderful program. I want to encourage all the different schools, AF, Ali, the R.M. Bailey's, the C.R. Walker, the D.W. Davis, and the primary school. I want to say to the principal, try your best to see how you could get this program introduced in the schools and many of the community centers around Nassau. They need to try and find out ways and how they could coordinate with BTVI to get some of those at-risk kids and those who are not at-risk want to be able to use their hands to be able to join this wonderful program, because we need to make a connect where we could get these young persons to change their mindset, because we see a pure good example in studios here tonight on Guardian Radio 96.9. To all parents, I think they are doing a phenomenal, fantastic job. To BTVI, the government of the Bahamas, I think this program is one of the priorities enabled to reach those less fortunate and even those who are less fortunate to have a better future and so they become a better, productive future generation of young behemoths in this country. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
I'll make one more appeal.
Go ahead.
We are calling for all those young persons who want to learn a trade to come to BTVI's Smart Start, Workforce Readiness Smart Start program. You can reach us at www.btvi.edu.bs or you can call us at 502-6300. Smart Start, hashtag, don't count us out. This program
don't count us out
throughout the Bahamas, and we are excited. We want you. Come allow us to develop you. It is free to you. We have 4 certificate programs. That is construction, the construction trade, we have the fashion trade, we have the beauty trade, and we have automotive.
Wow.
All is free to you. Come.
Free.
Come join us.
It's free. Like I said, the government's a wide opportunity. It's up to the Bahamian people to go over there and just try a little to be a part of it. Okay? I want to say thanks to Ms. Major for doing such an awesome job. I say thanks to your parents because they did such a wonder. You better say something great to your great-great-grandmother because you better polish those nails this Saturday because she got you on the right track. Go ahead, you please.
Thanks, man. You did an amazing job.
Go ahead.
I would like to say thank you to all the hardworking and dedicated individuals in my life, not only just my mom, not just my parents, but all of those that are around me that's encouraged me, supported me in any way, shape, or form. Thank you. I love you all.
Awesome. Ms. Major?
I would say hashtag don't count us out. Smart Start Workforce Readiness Program. I would say I thank the instructors. I thank the government. I thank the leaders of BTVI. And most of all, I thank the student. Come check us out, Smart Start. Hashtag
don't count us out.
Don't count us out. We're not counting you out. We need to see you. BTVI.
BTVI, I want to thank you. I want to thank Guardian Radio for inviting you guys on the show because they know that this is a show that deals with the inner city people and the country as a whole. And I just want to say, just keep up the great work. And to both of you, the sky's the limit. I hope to have some progress report because we can have you guys come back on, Miss Major, because we really want to keep the program going. So, and I guess you're in contact with Guardian Radio because they made this request because they know this is the right thing to do. This is some good news. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you, to the parents of both of these wonderful young Bahamians, up and coming young Bahamians who are very intelligent and head in the right direction. You guys did a wonderful job nurturing them. And to you, Ms. Major, and to the BTVI staff, keep up the good work. And you're doing a tremendous, great service to not only us as human beings, but to the Lord God himself. Thank you very much. And enjoy your wonderful Friday. Good news.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Baton, bro. Boy, I from Baton, bro.
Ah, my son, that boy, what happened? Huh? Straight to the Baton, boy, from Baton. Where you using me, man? Oh, look. Again?
I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baton, bro. Boy, I from Baton, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Baton, bro. Boy, I from Baton, bro.
Join Rise Bahamas online for Imagine Local Government Day, Saturday, March 25th at 11 a.m. Hosted by Naughty with music by DJ Bravo. Play our trivia for a chance to win $500 every hour until 2 p.m. Our speaker is Pat Ramming with appearances by Ed Fields, Valentino, Scrooge Brown, and yours truly, Tanil Tada Burrows. Inbox Rise Bahamas on Facebook or email risebahamas@gmail.com to register.
We are called for local government.
Girl, you see how Cora eye look funny, all black up yesterday?
But she say she bumped into a wall when she's running after the churn them.
Yeah, but last Saturday, you see her arm was all black and blue, right?
So what you saying? You think something wrong between her and Jack?
I ain't sure, but you know Jack is a jealous man. I hear him and Cora last Friday. I hear him say he hear Cora have eyes for Junior.
Now you know that ain't true. Cora is a good woman, does mind her business, take care of them churn, and go to church every Sunday. So what you think we should do?
I think we should report Jack, you know. Cora don't say nothing, but silence hides violence, and we don't want to line up in the cemetery.
Not me. I ain't getting in nobody business. Then Jack come after me and I land up next to Cora.
No, man, we could call a text Crime Stopper. And remember, we can even get some grocery money for our tip.
Remind me again, how does this work?
We can call them in Miami at 328-TIPS or 328-8477. Or when we in the island, call toll free at 300-TIPS or 300-8477. And if you don't have no minutes, use the Crack Crime Bahamas app and we could text them and the messages get all mixed up before it leave your phone so nobody can know what you saying.
So what we waiting on then? Let's go earn some grocery money.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together. And we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations. We're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up. For every step of the way. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baton, bro. Boy, I from Baton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street.
Good night. And we're back on Guardian Radio 96.9. I want to give out some more information about the BTVI Smart Start program. Okay, you can contact at 502-6300. No fee. Email www.btvi.edu.bs. Smart Start program. Ms. Major is doing a wonderful job with those kids. She loves kids, and that's what we need. We need persons who are really concerned about the kids and their future. I want to compliment again PTVI and the whole entire staff at the facility. That segment of the show is over now, and I'm just going to reflect on some of the news that's been circulating in the airwaves. And one I'm going to talk about now is the fact about the Bahamas government is now looking to hold the U.S. government and gun manufacturers responsible for firearms leaving the United States of America, and they are found in the hands of Bahamian citizens who create heinous crimes. Much of our crimes in the country is a result of the gun trafficking from the U.S. To the Bahamas and to the Caribbean. And if you look at the major Caribbean countries like Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Haiti, and basically all of the other Caribbean countries have the same problem. And reading the news and listening, you would see where they're saying that as they track the guns that are found in the hands of Bahamians here living in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, some of these firearms are registered to gun manufacturers who sell them to customers. And these customers, in return, it's their right to bear arms and to buy arms, but it's not their right to use the laws of the United States of America as to buy arms to actually use that as a way to how should I put it? To gain money illegally, knowing that the countries that they put and traffic these guns to are illegal firearms, and that persons in these Caribbean countries under laws are not allowed to. Our laws don't allow citizens to carry our citizens to carry firearm unless they are certified. Means they have to get registered, they have to pass a test. Anyone else, it's unlawfully carrying arms. And the government is looking at ways to hold these manufacturers accountable. Because I know myself, as a guy being on the streets, I used to sell firearms myself who I would get from either baser or someone who I know was in that field. This was going on like 20, 30 years ago. And as a former gang leader, I know where I used to buy firearms from. Sometimes off the cruise ship, attendants at the cruise ship, I would buy people who coming from the States, and other people would have connections with people coming in with boats and smuggling in cars and the Tide box and etc. And it's very profitable, because you could buy a handgun from the United States of America for basically, let's say a 38 or a 9mm for anywhere from, I would say, probably $300. Okay, 9mm 15 shooter extension clip, you probably would get probably $500-$600 in the States. Trafficking it here to the Bahamas and on the retail market, you're looking at a handgun that costs probably anywhere from $350 in the United States of America to costing anywhere to $1,500 here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And this is not even an assault rifle. If you could smuggle an AK-47 here or AR-15 or M16 here to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you could get anywhere from $35, $100 for it, probably even more for an assault rifle. And I always said that, people would always say in the Bahamas that, we should give the citizen in the country more time for firearm. And my friend Santana Forbes, he always saying this. And I would agree with him to an extent, But I understand something, what I will always understand. It's like this. Knife is illegal to carry in the country, right? So I can remember when we would go downtown to Huffers and Sons, and in Huffers and Sons, they would have a showcase of all these knives. So knife's supposed to be legal in the country. And this when the country was having all kind of stoppings, when they banned knives in the country. This is around that time, because they came down hard on the firearms. They started to go, the penalty for firearm back in the day was like 3 months. If you get catch with a firearm back in the day, it was like 3 months. Then it went to 6 months. Then because of the upspring and shootings and murders and armed robbery and assault with deadly weapon, it increased to 2 years. And then it went to 5 years for a shotgun, sawed-off shotgun. So, knowing that, right? Let me see, what is a little difficult one? I can try my best. I can't remember what I was saying and all because my mind was going someplace. But let me see if I can remember what I was saying. Yeah. And like I said, they raised the penalty. And I was going to say something so important just now, but I can't remember. But anyway, like I said, they came down and the penalty went up to 2 years. And during that time, like I said, there was many shooting and the penalty increased. And my friend Santana, he said that, we need to give them more time for these firearms. The 2 years ain't working for nobody. And I would agree with him. But then I look at the bigger picture. Well, why are we going to give someone in the Bahamas 20 years for a gun that we don't manufacture? We don't build guns in the country. Hey, we don't make bullets. You understand? But these guns are brought in from overseas. Right? And I was talking with Huffers. But these guns are brought in overseas. So how is it that a Bahamian person in the country is going to get catch with a legal gun that ain't supposed to be in the country, has a serial number, was built in the United States of America, but if he get catch with it over here and we ask him for stiffer penalty, which I'm all for, but what happened to the persons who are selling these guns in the States, or the persons who are smuggling the guns from the America to the Bahamas? Are they just going to get 2 years too, or are we going to give them a stiffer penalty of 20 years? See, I think the 20 years or 30 years or lifetime in jail should go for the smugglers who are bringing the guns in the country. And a high fine and retribution should be given to the manufacturers if their guns are found responsible for murders outside the jurisdiction of America, as long as they are supposed to be in the hands of the rightful owner. If these guns are not in the hand of the rightful owner and they come out of a manufacturing company like Smith & Wesson or Luger, then they should be held accountable for the murder that happens anywhere in the Caribbean, because it's just like the drug trade. Okay? Pablo Escobar was in Colombia and he was shipping drugs out of Colombia to America, but he never set foot in America. But they still hold him accountable. So why is not the same thing? It's the same thing. And I was talking about Huffers, so we went in Huffers and we bought some knives. And the knife's supposed to be illegal. So if knife is illegal, why are you selling the knives in the shop in Huffers? But the minute we bought the knife, the police was waiting outside. Knife is illegal, but it ain't legal inside Huffers. But the minute we walk out of Huffers and we had this knife in our pocket, the police tell us we lock up. So we had a big fight and we had to run from downtown because the police tell us we lock up. They watch us buy this knife. Now they stand outside Huffers. This knife's supposed to be illegal. They watching us buy this knife. The minute we step out the door, they tell us the knife is illegal and we lock up for carrying arms. So it's no difference. Just like I became a 19-year-old, how he got extradited to the United States of America, and they charge him for transporting illegal drugs. So it's the same thing. And there should be a retribution for guns that takes lives in Caribbean countries, and manufacturers in the United States of America should be held responsible. Should be held responsible. That's how it's supposed to be. And I said this many years ago. So I'm saying the penalty for the smugglers who smuggle in the guns in the country should be lifetime. If we won't make it then in the smuggling of illegal firearms. Anyone get catch smuggling firearms from America to the Bahamas should be facing lifetime in prison. Simple as that. Because a gun is like a nuclear weapon. Everyone knows that guns kills, and in the hands of poor, destabilized countries, it is a weapon of mass destruction, and anyone who is in that type of business, smuggling firearms, should be facing life in prison. So any Americans who live in Florida, who buy these guns in Florida, and will take advantage of Haiti, the Bahamas, Jamaica, knowing that they can make 10 times the profit coming to the Caribbean countries. Because I show you the profit margin. I tell you could buy a gun for $250 to $350, 9mm, or 40, and bring it in the Bahamas and sell it for $1,500. You could bring an AK-47, get anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500 for AR-15. Okay? So when those persons who want to leave the United States of America want to think for a minute that they're going to come here because the States is all filled with guns, and they know that the Bahamas has a serious homicide rate and has a high demand because of the poverty and the lack of opportunity in our country, they use this opportunity to bring firearms in the country to destabilize the country. And we who live in the country, who are blinded by it, I was blinded by it, but I'm not blind no more, I'm fighting against it, destroy one another in the country. So we just can't raise the penalty on a person who's toting a gun in the country. We have to raise the penalty on the smugglers who smuggling the gun and those who are distributing the guns. And we can't be soft on the Americans who bring in these guns, because I was seeing the reports where we find considerable amount of Americans traveling to the various family islands with illegal firearms or licensed firearms they bring either by travel and say they're using it for their own safety, but they don't register the gun on their maritime sheet. They probably put one, and by means they intend to sell these firearms. I just want to read something real quick. 1 second. So yes, I'm all for that. Just recently, I read the newspaper. I'm going to go to page, what this page is. I tell you I need some glasses, so you can please forgive me. Police Commissioner Plain Fernando holding an automatic rifle recovered from the streets of Nassau. We have Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, Lambas, U.S. gun manufacturer, as the Bahamas joined a lawsuit filed by Mexico. See, in Mexico, 90% of the guns that are in Mexico come from the U.S. So that's why you see all of the murders in Mexico, because Americans manufacture the guns. Companies, they don't keep track of it because it's high demand, and citizens buy these guns because they have their license, just like a car license, and they do some some sketchy backdoor deals where they get some considerable layaway to some corrupt businessman, and they're able to ship these firearms into these impoverished countries. And that's why Mexico now and the Bahamas now are filing. So let me see if I can. Okay. It goes here. Prime Minister Brave Davis said, although it would be difficult for Mexico to win a case seeking to hold U.S. gun traffickers accountable for the spread of guns in the region, the Bahamas need to support the actions to send a strong message to U.S. lawmakers. He spoke during a press conference at Belize headquarters, where Commissioner Clayton Fernando revealed 90% of weapons seized in the Bahamas have been traced to the United States, the highest rate in the region. You know, we got the highest rate in the region. We are seeking a strong message that we will not tolerate the unchecked flow of illegal firearms into our nation's waters, and that we expect the international community, including gun manufacturers, to respect and support our efforts to protect our citizens, Mr. Davis said. Mexico is appealing its case against U.S. manufacturers after a U.S. District Court dismissed their matter in September, concluding that the Protection of Lawful Committee in Arms Act barred such lawsuit. The Bahamas is among several other countries. We're going to take this call real quick. Go ahead, call. You're on Inside
Scrooge, how you doing, man?
I'm fine.
You know, I have a problem with the Prime Minister and Mexico and those other countries going after gun manufacturers. Here's the thing, right? The manufacturers, they create, they build, and they make guns and that sort of stuff, right? They're not the ones who are distributing it. In 2010, the Obama administration and the Justice Department and the ATF had the Fast and Furious program where they basically shipped guns from the United States to the cartels. All this is documented. And the scandal was that instead of the cartels fighting amongst themselves, they decided to sell those guns that the United States gave to them.
The
United States ATF.
Yes, you're right.
And Justice Department.
You're
They sold those guns to the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Latin America. So if the woke people in Mexico, or even our Prime Minister Brave Davis, was serious about this, they'll be filing a lawsuit against the Justice Department and the ATF.
You're correct,
because they're the ones who caused the guns to be smuggled here in the Bahamas.
Yes, sir, I agree.
When Green State was on, I sent a message to him. I said, how about you trace those serial numbers from those guns that you confiscated, and you'll notice that those same serial numbers will be traced right back to the gun walking scandal,
they'd be
or the Fast and Furious scandal that happened back in 2010. And last thing, if you remember back in 2010 is when our highest ever murder count was counted out. That's the highest time we ever had a murder count. I don't think we've ever been that high since then.
147.
147. It's all because of those guns being smuggled from the Mexico region to the Bahamas. I like to listen.
You know, sir, you knocked the nail right on the head. I read the report too, and you actually are correct. You know, we're here talking about the Davis administration, but you knocked the head. You're talking about the ATF. You're talking about the government itself is responsible for putting.
Right. So them talking about, but they going after gun manufacturers. They know they can't do nothing about that.
No, they can't do
because the gun manufacturers didn't smuggle those guns here.
Yes.
They didn't cause those guns to end up in Mexico in the hands of the cartels.
You know,
the Justice Department did, and the ATF did.
You know,
but I gotta go though.
No,
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, you did a wonderful job. But did you know the backup what this young man is saying just now, right? I watched a report about 15 years ago. I think it was the Iraq War, or a little bit more than that. I think 20 years ago. I can't remember, it was 15 or 20 years ago. And all of the confiscated AK-47 that the U.S. Army went in Iraq and they gathered up because they didn't want to leave the AK-47s and all the firearms on the streets of Iraq. They took these guns, and I hear they distribute all of these guns to Haiti. And that's how come Haiti is the #1 transport destination for firearm, besides America. So if you want AR-15, AK-47, 9mm 38, Haiti is the place to go. Jamaica and everyone else is go to Haiti for their firearms, okay? Because Haiti is loaded with assault rifle and firearms. We're going to take this next call, and we take this next call?
Scrooge.
Good night.
Hey, Scrooge.
Good night.
Yeah, man, Scrooge, Haiti don't make no guns, right? And Jamaica don't make no guns. And there's no black nation on this face of the earth
that makes gun.
Right? So see, we have to stop. We have to wake up in this world and realize what's happening.
To destabilize
us black people. See, and don't care how people want just to be colorblind because we black, right? And we ain't supposed to even use this word, black people. But people need to wake up and notice, right? Show me a black nation
that makes AK-47
that
weapons of mass destruction,
that is surviving on their own as a black nation and being and doing it successful.
No.
There isn't any.
No, we don't do that. We don't.
There is no black nation because white supremacists dominate every black community because they have to. We have to wake up and see that. They have to, because if our black ghettos ever turn out to be
successful,
the communities of Europe, then that means Europe have to turn to be the ghettos of where we are.
If we uplift, yes, that's I understand.
Right? We have to see this. This is not the black our country. We can't do nothing with no gun. There's nothing we can do because our governments are complicit and siding with governments of the world to allow certain things to exist. Because if they wasn't, we would have had serious gun laws.
I agree.
That even if you saw a gun, you could have gone to jail.
Yes, I agree.
You didn't even hold it. If you saw it, that was a possibility of you being charged. Or no, but see, we are complicit. We are, and see, the people in this country has to wake up. We can no longer, Scrooge,
I agree,
go down the roads of pretending that things can change when we ain't doing nothing major to cause there to be a change. Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
Have a nice day.
Boy, that was a mouthful. The caller before, he talked about, they're talking to the manufacturers and etc. But the caller make a valid point when he talk about the ATF. And if you don't believe what's going on, for all those who listen, if you don't believe in population control, y'all don't understand nothing what's going on in this world. You know, we are no threat to nobody, you know. But there's a ideology out there. If we wake up, if the black people wake up and we start killing one another, decrease the poverty level, okay? Increase the education, increase the family structure again, where we have less crimes in Jamaica, in Haiti, in the Bahamas. When we realize and we start to see our full potential. And we're not looking to harm no other nation or harm no other race. We just want to coexist where we have a stable community, a stable country wherever we live. We just want to be a part of it, not to be discriminated on, not to take over. We just want to be a part of it and contribute to the development of the country wherever we are in the world. And that's what we are. We're not here to rise up and take over the world. No, we don't want. That's not our agenda. We just want to coexist. The caller talked about you can't find a black country in the world that makes a weapon. And he's correct because we don't think like that. No black nation is trying to take over the world. No black nation is trying to take over our next nation. That's not us. We just want to coexist. So there's no reason to fear us for trying to better our lives and to change our mindset so that we can have a better society. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And many people are intimidated for that. And that's why they have the Willie Link rule syndrome to destroy the family life. And the caller's talking and saying people need to realize. Yes, we need to realize, people. I was there. I was in the streets, people. I was in the streets. Okay? I was connected to the U.S. from other gangs in the U.S., and they used to come visit us. We had border boys in the U.S., okay? The border boys got so big and the raiders got so big that we expanded to the U.S., and we had people who were part of these gangs, so we was exchanging information. And the same thing that was going on in here in the Bahamas was going on in the U.S. And government officials were putting guns in the hands of young teenagers, knowing that they're going to make mistakes. And then in time, they're going to put war on drugs, and they're going to fill up the prison and destroy the family structure. And then there's chaos on the streets where we can't get along with one another because we have a black Rob syndrome and we don't want to see one another succeed. And that's all how you destabilize the country. Didn't you just see it happen in Haiti, where we had the U.S. sending assassins, and the evidence was there clear as day to kill out the Haitian president. They killed him to destabilize it because the man wasn't part of the COVID-19 and wasn't listening to what the U.S. had to say. You know? All these things. Look at Gaddafi. Look at Saddam. They go around destabilizing and putting guns in these countries. That's how you gain control. That's the strategy, but that's played out now. And we have to realize that. And that's why I like the program that BTVI had. You know, we're going to have to keep on encouraging. And like the caller said, it goes deep. And if you don't believe me, go look at the war in Iraq and see where all those AK-47 that they took from Saddam end up in the Caribbean. How they got there? The U.S. soldiers gathered all those AK-47 up, just as well as they took all the American money, and they took billions out of Iraq treasury and stole the money. And all the weapons, they didn't want to live on the streets. Those weapons was gathered up and were shipped to Haiti. And they ended up in the hands around the Caribbean. That's why Haiti is so full of guns, and Haiti don't make guns. Jamaica don't make guns. The Bahamas don't make guns. And just last year, listening to the Commissioner Clayton Fernando, it recorded that there were 400 guns took off the streets of Nassau, New Providence. 400. And this year, I think they say they took already about 70-something to 100 guns off the streets. And if you do the research and you find out where these guns come from, they come from the U.S. So what it tells you? Who is responsible? You know, if the Bahamian people don't get these guns in their hands, even though their minds are screwed up, there won't be no murders. If the manufacturers was making these guns in the U.S., no gun, we wouldn't have no murders with firearm. So who is responsible? You know? So, yes, the government is looking to join Mexico. And yes, if we get the retribution, that money can't go in the government hands. That money have to go directly in all the people's lives who are being damaged here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. If there was a reparation package given, filed by the Mexican government, and the Bahamas said they want to join it. So if there was a retribution, just like for slavery, if it ends up in government hand, they're going to look at the list of all violent crime victims over the last 40 years or 50 years in the country, and they're going to split the money to give to them. And all those kids who father or mother or grandmother got killed, who are living in the country today, who are stagnated, who now are at-risk kids because, you know, their parents were killed. You know, now we could start to give them something so that they can better their lives and so that they could have an opportunity now to make a difference with the opportunity they're getting from the retribution that, if successful, because of the suing or the filing of a complaint from Mexico and the Bahamas, and if they're able to win it, it could be in the millions or billions given back to make up for the gun violence. Or we call it negligence on behalf of the U.S. gun manufacturers. And the caller stated it could go to the ATF in the United States of America, who, we have to be very careful of. Okay, we're going to take this last call. Go ahead, caller. You got to turn on your thing.
Hello, yes. I hear you talking about retributions and what we're entitled to as a people. But I have a question. If we have crown land and the Prime Minister has the power to give land to whomever he wants,
yes, ma'am.
Why aren't we dealing with that first?
Well, that's something you're going to have to ask the Prime Minister, and something I really would like to get on. I think this is the number one priority, which you were talking about, with the crown land. I agree with you on that. I think that should be a priority. It's just that the Prime Minister and the international community have decided to take this step when we're supposed to be dealing with the crown land, but I think it's top priority.
I think that's what you need to do it first, and that's how it's invested where? Here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I agree.
So we want to really talk about who's going to do it for whom. Do it for yourself first.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree, See, this is how I feel. I feel that the Bahamas government right now has their hands full with too much different projects. They're doing a lot of investment in hotel and et cetera. They're doing the airport. They're dealing with crime. They're dealing with climate change. They're dealing with marital rape. They need to focus. See, the Prime Minister, he is overwhelmed, and he needs to figure out a 10-point plan on what they're going to work on and let some of these ministers deal with some of these other programs, Prime Minister, you have too much on the table. And 5 years is a short time, and even though you're trying your best to do the best that you can, sir, I can tell you this now, with all the different projects that you're doing now, you're only one man, sir, and don't fool yourself. You ain't gonna get it done in 5 years' time, okay? You better support a team of people to deal with certain projects which you are doing, but you have to make it consistent. And then you, as the Prime Minister, is going to say, I have 10 things I'm going to deal with. That I'm going to deal with poverty, you deal with crime, you deal with housing, you deal with helping with the hospital, and except do 10 things, sir. And let your cabinet do the rest. Because, sir, 5 years right around the corner. And you need to focus. And the caller made a good point, She said, why are we focusing on the retribution of firearms? Why not be focused on the crown land or immigration? And the Bahamas government right now has just given out eviction notice in Abaco, 200 homes. They live in a certain time, also in the Bahamas. So now the government of the Bahamas is dealing with the immigration issue, and they're dealing with demolition and coming in the next few months, which is a step in the right direction because we need to take our country back. We can't allow foreigners to come overseas unregistered in the Bahamas, break our laws, build houses, bring cholera, damage the water system, bring disease. I'm not discriminating against nobody, but when people are not living under the health standard means running water, electricity, proper sanitation, the area is clean up where there's no abandoned vehicles, cars, and et cetera, where you have more fresh air. This keeps you away from diseases like cholera. And if you're looking, we're seeing cholera making a comeback. So And it's all because of the sanitation of that particular area. And when there's no proper bathroom or bathing facility where people use running water, they're just taking a stool and then turning down a well. That pollutes the water. That causes flies and mosquitoes come and then other insects, and then, you know, you're walking in it and you can't in your house. You know, so all this is unsanitized. So the government is doing a good job as relating to that now, but we have to stay focused, you know. So I hope you enjoyed the show here tonight on Garden Radio 96.9. I'm your host, Valentino Brand. I'll be here next week, Friday, and we'll have more discussion on some of the major investment that the country is facing. I told you that this is the most investment, and I said this, that this government is doing. They're topping the 1992-95 administration of Hubert Alexander Ingram with all the major investments. This is now between Freeport, Cat Island, Brave Davis, and Chester Cooper. They're creating an economy, they're creating hotels, they're creating small business, they're creating jobs. You know, and I want to talk about that next week. You know, and how Cat Island and the constituency of Chester Cooper in the next 5 years, how they're going to be prosperous with the latest technology, with the best tourist product we're going to see when it comes to development with the hotels and the technology. So we want to talk about that next week and how we are going to benefit here in the country. Brave Davis and Chester Cooper are doing a fantastic job for the future development of their constituency that they represent. And they provide an opportunity for their citizens. Are we going to provide that opportunity here in National Province? So I want to ask Mr. Wade Watson, the MP of Bain and Grandstand, what is his idea? I want to ask other MPs, how are we going to benefit? Like how Chester Cooper and the Honorable Brave Davis are going to provide for their residents. So I'll be asking the question next week on Garden Radio. So it's my pleasure being your host on this Friday. I'll see you next week on Garden Radio 96.9 FM. I'm Valentino Brand. See you next week on Inside the Inner City. Enjoy the weekend.
I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up in town, bro. Boy, I from Dayton, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Dayton, bro. Boy, I from Dayton, bro.